may contain graphic materials, swearing, crying, may contain anything at this point. This is your warning. No littles in the room. Thanks.
From day one, you fought for your life, and you blew everyone away.
Hello. Welcome back.
I'm Jesse.
I'm Alisha.
And we are changing the chances.
Yes, we are. Welcome to the show.
So today, we're just going to talk about our day that we had today.
Yeah, we're keeping it upbeat. This was the goal. It needed to be upbeat this week and light and fluffy and happy.
So we are, what's the best way to describe it, babe?
So we are very lucky in the aspect that we got introduced to this amazing couple who has put together events.
Yeah.
For families with children that have special needs, disabilities, whatever, however you want to look at that.
Great people.
Amazing
people.
Just the biggest hearts. They do these things out of the kindness of their heart. Yes.
Unfortunately, they do have their own tragedies, dealing with two of their own children. And we're fortunate that they do this for other families.
Yeah.
And they know firsthand, obviously, with their own tragedies. And seeing them today, as soon as we pulled up. So essentially what happened today, we tailgated a baseball party or a baseball game.
We did.
And
it's so fun.
we did it last year. Piper had a blast.
Yep.
So we decided to do it again this year. She wasn't as lively this year. I think she was just because she didn't sleep all that great.
I think she was wore out.
Yeah,
but
she was pretty tired, but she still did pretty good. But as soon as we pulled up and she could hear the music, because they have live DJ and there's kids playing, softball and
there's
just the whole thing. Yeah, cornhole.
And a little softball play area.
Barbecuing some hot dogs and some chicken
and music. Yeah.
It was just really fun. And it's really nice because sometimes, at least for me, sometimes it does feel like we're the only ones that are kind of dealing with this. And to actually not just hear about it or read about it or see it on Facebook or whatever, but to actually see other families that are so familiar with the same situations and, the same feelings and all of that.
Nobody's surprised to see a kid in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Nobody's surprised if your child doesn't talk. Nobody's surprised if they see a feeding pump. It's just
another normal Saturday or Sunday for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're just hanging out trying to play some baseball.
Trying to have a good day and enjoy the warm weather. And it is so nice to be able
wonderful
to see that, and everybody is so welcoming and loving and, oh man, look at her dress. She looks so pretty. Look at her hair. And it's, nobody hesitates.
She's adorable. So yeah,
but nobody hesitates to come over and talk to her and acknowledge her as a human being. They get it.
Yeah.
100%.
It's amazing. And they go all out. Besides, obviously providing food and entertainment, and he even has volunteers that come that just walk around and just ask if you need anything.
Do you guys need something to drink?
Do you want some food? Do you want me to get you whatever you need?
They just want you to
there
enjoy.
To just help you do everything.
Yep. They just want you to enjoy and have a good time because, this man and his wife, they get it. 100% they get it. They understand it. They've been there. They've lived it. And I just think the world of them.
Yeah, I don't know how you couldn't.
And honestly, we need more people in the world like them.
Oh, they're amazing.
They are. They're just wonderful. And
they make me so happy.
This gentleman got us tickets to the baseball game. Yeah,
so it's not just tailgating. He also provided tickets to see the baseball game for all of us.
ADA seating, everybody that wanted tickets to go to this baseball game got tickets. And I don't know this guy's job description, but he works with events. He works with our local basketball team, the Utah Jazz, and he works with our local baseball team, the Utah, the Salt Lake Bees.
Yes.
And I just love that he uses his platform to help and extend, because it's like he realizes that, you know, this isn't, it's difficult for families like us to go out and do things like this.
Yeah. For so many reasons, because it's not just, you know, sometimes it comes down to finances. Like one, you know, finding the money to pay to get tickets to go to a baseball game sometimes is not in the budget, which most people can relate to. It's also hard because, unfortunately, if we buy tickets and she wakes up and she
has
doesn't
a bad
feel
day,
well, or hasn't, you know, when she's medically, in our case, she's medically complex, I don't know how she's going to be from day to day, and it can turn very quickly. And
this couple understands that and knows that.
Yeah.
And he was actually talking to us today about it. He stopped by after the tailgate. We were already sitting down watching the baseball game, and he was kind of making the rounds, and he stopped by and was like, so glad you guys were able to make it. But he was saying, like, you know, when I tell these guys, like, we just need to get tickets because some of these families may or may not be able to show up. Some of these families may only be able to stay for a short amount of time before they're able, you know, they're not able to stay the whole length of the game. And it's hard almost to make that commitment. Like, especially if you go and you buy these tickets, you know, I don't know the prices of them, but you go and you buy these tickets, and then you got to pay for parking and all this other stuff and everything. And then something comes up and she needs to go to the hospital, or she's just woke up and is having a bad day. She's throwing up, whatever the case may be. She's just not going to be able to go and make that game.
Yeah.
You're out that money.
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
But this gentleman is trying to get these organizations, this baseball team and this basketball team, to work with people. And it's like, you know, okay, you weren't able to make this game. We can float these tickets, and then maybe you can make the next game if you guys are, because these families want to go to these events. Yeah. They want to do these things.
Unfortunately, it's not just us families. Yes, we are focusing on our situation, because that's what we're talking about. But I mean, it's true for so many people in general.
Well, Joe across the street could, you know, have bought tickets and then had an accident, goes mountain biking, and he's stuck in the freaking hospital right now. But, there's all kinds of reasons.
Yes.
We're just addressing some of ours because these are closer to home.
Yeah. I mean, that's all. That's all I'm just putting out there.
But it's great, like, to see all these kids that are, you know, severely handicapped, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, deafness, blindness, all this. They're all together. They're all having a blast. The parents included. We were there dancing and having fun and everything. And it's just so lighthearted. And the kids love it.
They do.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And like,
you know what I find that's super amazing? And I'm not addressing anything negative, but that I did notice, especially today. So we're at the tailgate. Again, these are all families who have somebody with them that has special needs, disabled on some level. And lots of them actually have siblings who are typical siblings who are around it every day.
Yep.
It is so fascinating to watch the difference, because the kids who are around it every day obviously don't even bat an eye. Again, I understand why. This is...
Oh, yeah. If they have a sibling...
They don't even bat an eye, and they're just like...
This is normal.
They just don't. They don't even think twice. They come over, they say hi. You know, last year, we had a little girl who literally just ran up to Piper, who's in her wheelchair, took her from me. And this girl's little.
She took her from Alisha.
5. I don't know. She's little.
She was there today with her brother.
She was. Just like took Piper from me and just wheeled her away. And the mom was like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Her brother's in a wheelchair and she pushes him all the time. And I was like, that's fine.
She's like trying to call her daughter like, hey, you can't, no.
Yes,
no.
It was just, it was so adorable. I was like, it's totally fine. If she wants to like push her around and have a good time.
Interact with Piper.
It's fine.
You know, like that just melted my heart.
Oh, it did.
It was immediately. Just like, this typical child, who is a complete stranger to Piper, does not know Piper, but simply sees she's in a wheelchair and she's gonna need help.
And everybody's
and
dancing.
I know how to play.
I know how to do that.
I know how to do that because my brother's in a wheelchair and just came over and grabbed her and was like, "Let's go, we're gonna dance."
Oh my gosh. It was so cute. It was the best. But anyway, so just seeing that interaction, and then today we had a row in front of us of people at the baseball game, and they had several kids, and the kids were fine. They were whatever, no big deal. But they definitely, you can tell that they had never seen another child in a wheelchair.
Oh yes, they were very curious. Like
very curious. Nobody talked to us. There was lots of looking.
Lots of looking. And it's fine, whatever.
Totally fine.
And I was prepared for someone to ask a question because, like, if you're curious enough to ask a question, like, hey, what's wrong with her or something like that, I'll tell you. I will educate you 100%, especially as a child.
Yeah. Why not?
Like, I'd rather them be educated to where maybe the next time they see someone in a wheelchair, they feel a little more comfortable to just say hello.
Yeah. Agreed.
But yeah, there was like 5 kids at least, and then
it was like a whole family.
Like a whole
it was
family.
Big, yeah.
But you could tell they kept looking, and it's like whatever. I'm sure they've never seen it or been around it or anything,
which is fine. Again, you don't.
It's great that this couple that does this program, that he uses his platform to help get families with Down syndrome, autistic individuals, cerebral palsy, whatever the case may be, to get out and enjoy these activities.
Yeah.
Because Piper loves it.
Yes.
She loves the crowd. Like when everybody, like we had a couple home runs today, and she loves it because the crowd gets into it. Everybody's cheering and clapping, and she loves it. So why shouldn't they get to experience that?
Agreed.
And
she's
I just
still
love
only 8, and she should get to go out in the world and experience it.
Do this, that they are always, and we went to, and I'm sure we've mentioned it before, but we had, was it the Easter stay that we went and we stayed?
So the very first time we got introduced to them, at the very, very beginning, before COVID, so years ago. Yeah, it was an Easter thing they did.
I absolutely loved it.
Oh my gosh.
It was amazing.
Amazing. They like booked hotel rooms for all of us, and we all got to stay the night, and they had 1 million volunteers, and everybody was assigned a specific volunteer.
Oh yeah.
So you could have their phone number, you could call them, and they could help you with anything you needed.
Like this volunteer is designated for you this entire time that you are here.
Yes.
If you guys just want to go out to the pool by yourself, your volunteer can watch your child for however long you want. You can choose to use your volunteer. You can choose not to if you don't feel comfortable. Like whatever you want, they are there for you.
We showed up and we got to enjoy the pool, and they had s'mores out on the patio over like a fire pit. And
we fed some ducks.
Piper
loved that.
It was amazing. It was so much fun. So then we got to stay in the hotel overnight, and the next day they had a whole setup, like the princesses.
Yeah, a bunch of volunteers
came and
dressed up like princesses,
painted nails and sang songs, and then they had all the kids do like, the best way for me to describe it is like their own little runway walk.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was like a runway walk. Best way to describe it.
Yeah, so they had the parents sit in a room. Jesse went. I stayed with Piper because she's in a wheelchair, so it's a little bit different, and the kids would walk in one at a time.
They were introduced. They like Piper.
Yeah, they
Chance
said their name. They like walked down this aisle.
But they walked with a princess.
They did.
So they would introduce the child and the princess that they were walking with, and it was so adorable. And
walked down and got tiaras at the end, or
they got like little.
They got little Easter baskets, and we had food, and we like had daddy-daughter dance.
Oh, that's what I loved about it, is because
it
was wow.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not see this coming.
I don't even know. I can't even talk right now.
I'm not gonna lie. Is anybody shocked? Is anybody as shocked as I am? If you've been around, we're all a little shocked. But yes, they had a daddy-daughter dance, and they they gave flowers to all the moms. It was beautiful. It was amazing. We had a really good time. We were all dressed up. So we have an adorable picture of Jesse and Piper dancing together.
Yeah, I was in a nice button-down shirt and slacks.
It's a very cute picture.
Essentially Sunday best.
Yes.
What I would have worn as a Sunday best back in the day when I was, watching people pray with snakes and shit. No, that daddy-daughter dance was probably one of the happiest moments for me. One that I'll never forget.
I'm gonna have to pull these pictures out and post them.
Yeah,
because...
they were really good, and it meant a lot to me.
Yes, it was amazing. So these are the amazing human beings, and they're not the only ones. No, and I can't give these people out a shout out enough or enough. Oh
love,
yes, no,
they're awesome.
And I just want to point out, like, them as a couple, like, they do this as a couple, just them. They're not like a fundraiser. They're not a foundation or anything.
It's just them.
It's just a couple who decided to do some good things for people.
They've made a lot of good friends and connections that see that what they're doing is for a good cause, and they help them.
But they do a lot of it all on their own. That's just who they are.
Out of their pocket, out of their time. And it's just great. They're wonderful. Wonderful human beings. Yes,
just
100%.
You can't even. We are a part of some other organizations.
I was going to say the other day we were driving down the street. We had our van in the shop, so Alisha had to come and pick me up from work. And we are also members of, what is it, Mascot Miracles. Mascot Miracles.
Yes.
And we saw one of their trucks, and so it's always nice to see them outside of an event, like doing something or whatever. But
so they are an organization, obviously.
Yeah.
And they're amazing.
They are. They've done some great things that we've gone to, that they've set up and stuff. So
many amazing things. One of my favorites is we went to a water park.
Yes. That was so fun.
Booked the water park, so it was closed to the public. Like after hours or something, and like we got to go in and spend time, and it was so much fun because Piper'd never been. And again, to put out that kind of money for something that I don't even know if she's going to enjoy or not.
No, and that's the thing, is you just don't know, and a lot of people are just hesitant, especially with money being so tight because everything, the world now, considering gas prices are probably higher than our credit score. But yeah, it's kind of hard to. Do we want to do this? Like we do want to do this. We do want to do this.
Yes,
but it's like,
and we would have eventually. We would have tried.
We would have done it. We would have tried. But it's just so nice when they're like, hey, if you guys want to, all you have to do is RSV.
Yeah.
Like if you guys want, you show up. We let you in. And there you go. And they gave us, we got like 2 little raffles for. Didn't they give us something like so that we could get something to eat or something to drink?
I have no idea. I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember.
They are also another awesome, great group.
Yes.
Doing great, amazing things.
Yes.
And just shout out to them and all the volunteers and workers and everyone that is associated. It's amazing. It's amazing.
They are amazing. And it's just so fun.
We just need more of it.
And it's always just nice. And maybe it sounds ridiculous. I don't know. I have no issues taking Piper out in public and people looking and questioning. I don't give a shit. And
you're the one that gets upset when I get upset.
Yeah, well, you're a little intense.
Well, that's my baby girl.
I know. It's fine.
Yeah. Daddy don't fucking play.
But it is nice. Like that event was closed. It was just for people with Mascot and Miracles. So again, it's like you're just with your people. People aren't staring. It's fine that she came in a wheelchair. And
because guess what? A third of the population that is there experiencing it is in a wheelchair also.
And it's fine when your kid needs a special floaty device because they're older, but they can't swim because that's just not who they are.
Or, they have a feeding tube button, so it's it's visible, and yes, we have no problems. It's different, it's weird, it's not ideal, but no one's just staring at her trying to figure out what's wrong with her. Guess what? There's nothing wrong with her.
No.
Like
she's
just a little
an amazing
different.
little human being.
So yeah, and I almost feel too like even today there was this adorable little girl took off running, and
oh my gosh,
she was headed towards the street.
Yep.
And legitly, I think every able-bodied parent
I was like, where are you going?
Was just like, wait a minute, what's going on? And, you know, no hesitation just to keep an eye out because they know. And this little girl, adorable.
Oh my gosh, so cute.
Looked like she might have had Down syndrome, but was just having the time of her life and was wanting to explore or whatever. And the lady that essentially ended up kind of like rounding her up wasn't even her mom or anything. And the dad came over and he's like, no. Thank you so much. Like, and because it's true. And that's one thing that we may not have to worry about. Like, Piper's not going to take off and run out in the middle of a street or anything like that. But, you know, I mean, if maybe something else had happened, I'm sure someone would have pointed out. Yeah. Or, you know what I mean? Like, because they're our people. Like,
they're our people.
You know, and
again, it's not, we'll take her out and we'll do all the things, but it's not that. But once in a while, it's nice to just be around people who get it.
It is to not have to feel like you're being stared at and judged or whatever the case may be. And, and just feel included and
like people get it.
Yep.
I don't have to explain anything to you.
I don't have to explain anything about Piper. It's, you know, like she got so many compliments on her hair, on her dress, she did. And, you know, the color of her wheelchair and having all of her Disney stickers all over it. It's, you know.
I know. I saw a wheelchair there today. I was like, it's hot pink and zebra striped. That's amazing.
Right.
By the way.
Yeah. It is. It's just so nice to be able to be around that and just for it to feel, I guess, okay. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it's okay that we're out and, you know, we don't.
I mean, there's lots of great people out there, but I do believe we still live in a society right now that's highly focused on
able-bodied people.
Yeah, on able-bodied people. So it makes it hard sometimes. And not everybody's like that. Of course, that's not.
No, I'm not. Yeah, and I'm not saying that either. We have witnessed firsthand complete strangers just.
Where did we go? We actually just went somewhere.
And the lady are you talking about the lady that was like, oh, how old is she? And just, gosh.
Oh, we just went and got new phones.
There it is.
But when we walked up to the door and Jesse went to open it for Piper, a little girl. She was
probably Piper's age, probably 7 or 8.
Was like, here, I'll hold the door open for you.
I'll get the door for you.
It was so cute.
And, yeah.
I don't know. It was adorable. One of those moments. So cute.
No, we were somewhere else and gosh, I can't remember the specifics, but just complete strangers just turned around and said that Piper was just so pretty and so beautiful and asked how old she was, and you told her, you know, thank you. She just turned 8, and, you know, but yeah, there are still kind people out there in the world, but it does suck when you can definitely openly see people just staring and gawking and taking double and triple and quadruple looks.
It's super weird for me. I obviously have a disabled child in a wheelchair, in case you didn't know that. So when I see other children in wheelchairs, I look. And I hope the parents don't think I'm being like
when you're
judgy.
Not with Piper?
I know, but when am I ever not with Piper? But
I guess that's true.
But still, I guess maybe, I don't know. Because honestly, because I have a child in a wheelchair, I'm always like checking out other kids' equipment, which sounds so crazy. Like, what's the paint job? How's the build? Do you have crazy cool tires? Do you what's your headrest like? Because
you're interested because if Piper can benefit from it, it's like mental store.
Well, and we saw somebody once and the kids' tires lit up and Jesse chased them down.
Oh, I did.
And we had a whole conversation with this family because they had a son in a wheelchair and his tires lit up when they rolled and it was amazing. And
I'm like, so my kid needs those? And I did. I walked up to him and was like, excuse me, my daughter right here in this wheelchair.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And it was just so funny. So yeah, I sometimes might come off like I'm staring purely just because I am checking out, like, what's their setup like? What does it look like?
You should just do what I do, like with tattoos. When people start looking at me weird because I'm like looking, and when I'm staring in it, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at your tattoos. And as soon as you usually say that, they're like, oh yeah,
well, if I'm close enough, yeah. Sometimes I'm not close. Sometimes you're across the room or something, and
yeah, I'm like, I don't have a problem approaching somebody and be like, oh, my daughter's in a wheelchair. Like, this is really cool. Like, not that your child's in a wheelchair.
He chased these people down. It was epic. I
briskly walked. I don't.
Oh, okay. Sorry, he didn't chase them. He briskly
walked.
So like a power walk.
Yes.
To get in the door before we lost them.
Yes, I'm like, I did not want to lose them.
I gotcha.
In the store.
Got you.
But yeah, so I briskly walked.
Well, we had a great conversation with them, and it was awesome.
Yes, it was. So yeah, I think that will probably wrap up today's episode.
Yeah, I mean, we just wanted to touch base on the happy stuff.
I'm going to go ahead and blame that little incident earlier on not being on my meds.
Well, we're definitely keeping it in the podcast.
No.
Yeah, that's how this works, so you know.
Just for you.
But not now, see, because now it's in the podcast, and now everybody knows you have a heart.
I do. It's sitting right over there in this chair. No, it's right there. That's my heart.
So cute. I will definitely post pictures. I will find them. I will round them up of the Easter get together.
That was such a fun
years
event.
Ago.
Yeah, it was a few years ago, but it was so good.
And then if I have pictures from last year and this year from the baseball event, I'll have to post them because we've had so much fun.
Oh, we took pictures today, so you can post pictures from today's.
Yeah, for sure. Of course. Because, things aren't always easy, but sometimes there are people out there that do their best to help make it easier, which is grateful and amazing, and I will take it all. There's something I want to say about Mascot Miracles, though, that I do like. I mean, I like it, of course, but when you sign up to try and be in a part of their group, they don't just acknowledge your children that are living. They also acknowledge children that might have passed. So they're called heroes and angels. So Piper is a hero because she's still with us, and Caleb's an angel. So I just wanted to point that out because I thought that was amazing that they take the time to acknowledge that sometimes they don't all live as long as
sometimes
other children.
Don't always. Yep. And one of the guys that I worked with a long time ago, previous job, his wife had a miscarriage. I think it was just after Piper was born. So after things started to kind of settle down after he and I talked a little bit and everything, and he told me, he was like, dude, I can't even imagine, you got to see him and touch him and hold him, and and I said, you know what, dude, a miscarriage is just as hard. Who is to say? I said, you know what, your pain is no less than mine.
I don't think so.
I don't think so at all. I'm like, you know what, you guys still lost a child.
Agreed.
I'm like, yeah, Caleb was here for 2 days, but you guys were still expecting that baby. You were still excited to be parents and, have all that love and everything. I'm like, and then your child passed. I'm like, a miscarriage is, to me, is no lesser of a loss than a child that was born and, didn't make it that passed.
Yes, our pain is different.
Yeah,
but I don't see one is more than another.
No.
It's just different.
So yeah, that is cool that they do mention that, that they do acknowledge that. And I know that the couple that does the games and stuff we went to today, they, again, amazing people.
Amazing.
But they know firsthand that loss.
Mm-hmm. And the first time I talked to the gentleman, is that what you call him? I don't know.
The gentleman.
The gentleman.
I was going to talk to him today and ask him if I could mention him, and I totally spaced it.
I know.
And he was
it's hard.
busy.
He's all
everywhere.
over the place.
He's trying to be involved with everyone. So.
But the first time when he was trying to get a feel for our family, our dynamic and stuff, and I told him about Caleb because I was like, yeah, we have Piper, because he always needs to know like how many people. And I'm like, there's 3 of us, but she was a twin and her brother passed. And he was like, well, so you're a family of 4. He goes, yes, we don't,
we won't book you as a family of 4, but you are.
But I acknowledge that you're a family of 4.
Because yes, he has 2 children of his own.
Yeah.
He did not get to keep.
And I follow his wife on Instagram, and
she's the sweetest woman. Oh my God, she's so sweet.
But I just love to see how they like honor their kids.
Oh, yeah.
All the time. Everything. Birthdays and
T-shirts, jerseys.
Just all the time.
Everything.
It's beautiful.
It almost makes me feel bad because I don't do that for Caleb. God, I should be doing more to honor him.
And again, everybody, I think, just handles their situations differently.
I think if this is how they handle their grief and their loss, then kudos to them.
Well, it's beautiful.
It is, the most beautiful way to do it.
Just constantly. And the pictures are always beautiful. And it's amazing.
Just wonderful people.
Yes.
Absolutely wonderful people. We are absolutely blessed that we were introduced to them.
Yes.
And that we were able.
I'm just so grateful we were introduced to them. And I'm just so grateful to be a part of any community that.
All of the little communities and forums and stuff that we're a part of that. That we get advice and help. And, because honestly, and I know you've mentioned in the podcast too, you have an issue, you can put it in one of these forums on Facebook or something. Yes. You'll get an answer in 5 minutes, as opposed to dicking around with the hospital.
Yep.
And I don't know. No. Parents are the best with information because it's like they live with it every day. Their child is completely and totally different than ours, but they might have just a little bit or an aspect or something. And it's like, we can use that. We can benefit from that. And it's like, by all means. Yeah, this is where I got it. This is how you do it. They're the best.
It really is. So I hope that was upbeat and fluffy and light for anybody who was
dragged down from the episode prior.
Yes. Well, you know what? I still felt it was important, and I don't take it back.
No, not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit.
So
yeah, I mean, we're hoping this one was upbeat and fun enough because next week we will be back to a little bit more of a serious situation.
Oh, yeah, we've already picked next week.
Yeah, so. Next week's is already.
Did you hear that?
Pre-planned.
We've already picked next week. This is amazing.
I'm like, this is almost the first. Is this? Should we just call this firsts? The episode we just call it firsts. This is another first on the podcast.
Oh man.
Yeah, very rarely do we have anything planned out ahead of time for the podcast. Know. So to have next week's episode already planned out.
Planned is a loose word, by the way.
Yeah, it's very loose terminology. The concept of the episode, the topic
is all picked and ready to go.
But yeah, and for all you listeners, we'll just give you guys a quick little heads up. Piper has a procedure tomorrow, and we will be spending all day in the hospital.
Well, once you hear this, the procedure will be done already. But
yeah, by the time you hear this, but yeah, she's having a procedure done tomorrow. And we're all going to just hang out in the hospital. It's going to be a long, long day. I'm sure you'll see me on Instagram. Probably. Let's just be honest. I'll post something on Instagram. Everybody will know. If you follow me on Instagram. If you follow me. Or I'm on Facebook. I'm really terrible at the Facebook. But I just figured I'd give our listeners a heads up. If they follow the podcast. Well, you can give them a heads up, but it's technically going to be a week late. So. Yeah, I guess that's true. So, whatever. Here's your heads up a week late. Hey. Anyways, we'll talk to you guys later. Okay. Bye. Bye.